And it's about this time that everyone wakes up. It's about 4 in the afternoon. Your guys' sleep schedule's absolutely destroyed. It's gonna
I'm
take
used to it.
many days to fix this. But last,
You think so?
the
No problem.
for the average person. But the only thing that was on the agenda immediately at some point in the afternoon was speaking to Jace. Is there anything you guys would like to do before that? You can go ahead and do that now, as you all gather back up.
While we meet before Jace, after you.
Yeah, before we meet, I want to look at that contract that I got from Xerxes.
Mhm.
If I have like a physical contract.
Would you like me to help you identify?
No, I wouldn't show this to you. This would be before, like Phoebe and I think Phoebe and I share a room, so I'd probably.
She sees you reading in bed and like stuff under the covers when she wakes up.
As you kind of hold your hand over the pentagram, you see that the contract essentially says, ensure that your mother carries out her task of bringing this mace and placing it into the appropriate obelisk.
Do I know which obelisk it is? And it's okay if not. Okay.
As of right now, no. He did mention that you should speak to Jace to get more information, as Jace is spearheading a mission that way.
I think I know the answer but are there any additional consequences if I fail this contract as well?
As of right now, Xerxes kept the same contract in place where you would be protecting your family. But he did not implicate or he did not bring in any of your party members into that contract, as Xerxes, again, seemed sincere that he didn't want to drag other people into, a mother's mistake or someone else's contract.
Okay. I would kind of show everything to Phoebe and tell her everything, including in this, maybe the first time that you've heard some of this. But that the letters that we saw from Mama's death when we were little, I think had implied that this was something that she's known she has had to do for a long time, but I don't think she knew what the task was based on the dream I just had.
And so what are we going to do?
I think that we need to find out exactly what will happen, if anyone knows, once we place the mace in the obelisk. And forgive me, do we know what happens, or is it just... I think I've asked you this 100 times, but I still don't quite understand, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But we don't know if it breaks down the divine gate or if it summons Asmodeus here. I don't know.
Here's what you know of so far. There are 8 obelisks. Each obelisk, as of right now, and Deegan actually, kind of mockingly threw it at Galileo, like, how do you not know what's just, you know that what's going to happen. These are puzzle pieces that you're looking for. He said it arrogantly. I think it'd be a better way to put it. What you gathered between the vision and between things that have been said in the past, you understand the obelisk to be some sort of weapon that is in what you believe now. I'm transitioning to what you believe. You believe that these weapons will be used to attack the divine gate in some capacity. But what you do know, going back towards me, the DM, you do know that at least this obelisk has a place for the vestige of a betrayer to be placed into it. It would be potentially worth asking, do the other 7 obelisks have a space for a vestige to be used of the betrayers? And if that is the case, that you're thinking about the betrayers in this case, you do know there are 9 betrayers, but only 8 obelisks as of now. So where's the 9th one?
And the last obelisk came 10 years ago before we think a lot. That way?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is
Yeah,
kind of
that's
the
cool.
this is kind of the Yellowstone moment. Like the volcano was supposed to erupt anytime now. Same thing here.
Oh. I don't like that.
Gotcha. Jeff.
It's coming, buddy. Get ready.
I don't like it one bit.
Check out the gun.
Didn't part of it exploded a couple weeks ago?
Allegedly.
Yeah, there was some not kids, people on like a pathway, and the shit exploded, and they all went running.
Did they die?
I don't
No.
think anyone died.
Nobody died.
I think they were all far enough away, but yeah.
Sorry.
So-
No, that would make a difference.
So if we can complete Mama's task so that she just has to do this one, but then perhaps destroy the other,
Explode the rest.
then I think it's a risk that we could potentially take, but if this is the last one, I don't know that I'm okay with our lives versus the entire. But
No. I think that you are more important in the entire world, but
Oh.
I don't think that I am more important in the world.
well, I think it's unfair because we are all each other's entire world, but there are a lot of other people and we are not their entire world. So if we can get to it,
If we can figure out where the last obelisk is going to erupt, we beat it there before it comes out of the ground, and we destroy it as it emerges. So no one gets to use it, period, point blank, done so.
we find another that's already erupted and see if we can just go ahead and take it out.
Because we both had the same vision, and the thing shot into the sky, and as far as we know, nothing is shooting into the sky yet,
I mean, it's
So-
it's pretty obvious.
unless they are all going to put the objects in the obelisks at the same time, and someone is already waiting for the final obelisk, and then we're there, and then they're somewhere else, and then it probably
We can talk to Jason, but
We need to-
I don't
Do what?
let me get a read on him before we decide. I trust him implicitly that this is our family, and I say that, but I also haven't shared all of my research.
you can trust someone and not tell them everything. That's fine.
Okay, we should probably talk to the group because I don't want to surprise them with that.
I said it in the vision, and I will say it again. I am with you. I'm with you. It is okay. You'll be fine. We can always flee into the Feywild if shit goes sideways.
Okay, I think we'll meet with everyone and in group before we meet with Jace.
Before we
Meet with Jace.
Yeah, so you guys all gather back at the kitchen. Food has been again set. You see some burn marks into the table where Skippy had jumped across the table. Those are currently still there, but nothing is on fire. So this wooden table has a few new stains or scars into it. You all gather back. What would you like to do at this moment?
What time is it right now?
Like 4 p.m. they said.
Mm-hmm.
Was anyone else awoken by a voice? I'm sorry, my voice compilers are not working properly. Still, I'm shaking off the fatigue of the last evening.
Which voice did you wake up to?
It was
Because no.
not long ago. Just a little bit. 27 minutes, 32 seconds.
I would be
No
fucking
one?
shocked if that was the actual timestamp on the video.
No one can recall? You give me too much credit.
I heard no voice.
It said, and help me out, man.
This is why I wrote it down, but I did miss the last part, so we'll have to
I
paraphrase
saw
it.
you writing it as I said it, and I was like, thank God.
Are you playing it back in the voice that you heard it in, or are you
Yes,
saying
no, I'm gonna play it back in the voice I heard it. But there's still two names that get dropped regardless.
Lindsay with the call out.
The names got dropped in this time.
Yeah.
I dropped
Great.
Cygnus and I dropped Deegan.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I'm
And
sorry.
it's
I thought you meant dropped in the sense that they were dropped from the message.
No, I'm sorry. No, I didn't. I dropped the names in the in the text.
Oh, correct.
Now do your best impersonation of Victor.
Deegan, will you meet us at
Victor.
this peace summit? Cygnus and I
Pretty
have
good.
waited a long time, and even longer for us to work up the courage to actually just me. Cygnus is the most courageous, brave person I know. Anyways,
Alright, it's
until
elaborate.
soon. That's as good as I can get for Victor.
That's really good,
Yeah,
Victor.
wasn't bad. He usually sounds more like a bitch.
Yeah, babe.
Chris feels the way about
Oh,
Victor that I feel about the Raven Queen, and I do love that deeply.
It's gotta happen.
It's
sometimes.
it's all love.
It's love.
I still don't see the problem with the Raven Queen. Alright, never mind. Go ahead.
Saying Raven Queen did nothing wrong.
Thank you.
It's not that bad. Stop.
So Galileo, as you repeated back that message, everyone hears it.
I'll steal.
Are
And then like
Rudar and Cal
Yeah, this is for everybody.
around to
Yeah, I would have said it to everyone.
Okay, so you wanted
Where do I-
Rudar, Calcidius to be in there?
And it's anybody.
Currently nobody's
If
in
they're
there.
there.
Nobody's in there right now, but if you want them, you can ask.
Yeah.
Do we know? I don't know if we've ever heard Cygnus's name before.
I don't think I did not recognize Cygnus. Does anyone recognize this Cygnus?
I'm
I
wondering
bet she
if we were in the
sounds so
temple,
fucking cool.
if we would have.
However, I mean, it's very possible we were in a temple, pretty much head by those
But-
two. So.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever heard her name.
No, it could have been. I mean, we didn't do any reading, right? Yeah. So okay. So let's say we haven't heard it. We've at least heard Deegan. It was a message
Right.
directed to
Well,
Deegan. the one we escaped.
I even found that letter in the mansion from Lissa to Deegan asking where he was, but that wasn't the name that you had. So who are these people?
We should inquire with Zelda's.
I think that is a good idea to maybe get, since
It was
they know
directed towards
Deegan,
Deegan on
and
the day
they
after.
need to know.
And before
Maybe they're conspirators of Deegan.
Rudner and them all come in, Sylvie would have wanted to update you guys as well on the situation so that you guys could know, but I would have either done it before we came down here.
Or before the ads came.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So if it was
Secret
like,
only years.
right.
Just to double check, you've not asked for Rundar, Cal, Mads, and any of them to come into the room as of now.
We're going to, but Sylvie wanted to talk first.
Yeah, and I would have given you guys just kind of the rundown like I gave Phoebe. So I don't know if anyone had anything they wanted to chip in on that or had any thoughts or ideas on that, or what we should do, such as complete Mama's task versus just let us all be eternally tortured and killed over and over again by Asmodeus for my mom not doing it.
Modius.
But if to each their own, finish model. But also if are we gonna? I'm okay with being tortured forever. I say now, not being tortured forever.
As someone who's never been tortured forever,
I'm
cool.
cool with it because I also don't want the entire world to die because that also sounds like torture forever.
Sounds less. Okay.
But just wondering if everyone's cool with the complete Mama's task as long as we can not let the entire plan come to fruition. Or
Okay, so you're asking us if we want to commit to aiding and abetting Narc Devil.
Just like one time.
or if
though.
you just want me to peace, or if you just want me to peace out by myself with Jace, or if you want me to not do it, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the situation.
One war crime is okay.
No, I love it. I like the.
I think we're past one war crime.
I would
What
be
is it?
the only one committing this crime. It's not anyone else, but
No, we can do it together, so you do not have to be the bad guy.
no.
I'll put my hands on the top of it, and then you can put your hands on the bottom of it, and then we both do it.
So actually, in statistics, something I've studied quite a lot. There's the concept of an average, which means if more of us are involved, the total burden on any of us will be reduced. And I think perhaps you feel the weight of this responsibility, and we may be the mean to solve it.
Wait, I just don't want to. I just don't know if it's the right decision, because as much as I want to protect my family, I don't want to protect my family and watch the entire world burn at the betrayal gods and whoever else may come through the divine gate, because they're all back there, so I don't know.
What if like a bunch of good guys come through too, and then we don't even have to worry about it?
Well, there was a time when I studied a lot called the Calamity, which was actually really bad, even though they were out. It was before the divine gate, but it was not fun for anyone.
I know, but
I don't think we want it open, but I also don't want us to be tortured forever.
Is it certain that completing your mother's contract would cause the end of the world?
No, not if the other. So in theory, there should be 9 obelisks, but we are waiting for the 9th one.
Well, that's quite a margin of error, I think, that we can afford.
Right, but if perhaps, I don't know if we destroy one, does it just give the divine gate a little bit of strength? Whereas if we destroy 8 and put 1 mason, it only weakens it a little bit, and it's probably fine. I don't know if we can even destroy the obelisks. Has someone tried? I don't know.
Has anyone tried to like hit one of these things if they're big and scary and freaking everybody out?
For the last 90 years?
I mean, I'm sure.
Someone's tried to hit
Could I have read about their experiments on them in the last 90 years when I hit that newspaper
Or
a couple
me.
days ago?
Yeah.
Or also the spy with intelligence connection?
There have been
Probably.
so publicly written in scientific journals. There have been a great many people who have had contests trying to hit the obelisk, and the force in which they hit the obelisk at has always hit them back. So if they've swung an axe at it, they've done that much damage to themselves. You've actually seen there are many accounts where people bludgeon themselves to death by swinging at the obelisk. So instead of that sword going through the obelisk, it goes through their own body, and they essentially cleave themselves in half.
So it doesn't do damage to the obelisk at all. It just reflects it all back.
Reflects to the person who is causing the damage. There have been spells casted toward it. Fireballs have been casted at it, in which have caused the person who's casting it to go up in flame and incinerate immediately. Yeah, there have been many attempts, physical and magical damage.
So I see what you're saying, and I think that there is something there, but also going back to Galileo's point of averages. If we all hold hands and then one person swings at it, then it will do equal damage to all of us. I don't know how math works.
But the problem is that swinging at it doesn't do any damage to the obelisk. So we need to figure out how to get the damage not to hit us, or if it hits us, to at least get the equal amount of damage to hit the obelisk.
Or we hit the people that are trying to deliver the things to the other obelisks before they touch the obelisk.
Or we destroy the objects that they're trying to put into the obelisk. Because if you kill someone trying to put this one item in, as we saw in our dream, someone else will pick it up and follow after them.
It is possible to mitigate force and damage.
Runeberg, why are you damned? Why are you wait?
That's a great observation. Remember,
Does he smell like
I'm just really excited.
you're positively drenched.
Rumberg, you actually, in your hair, there's like seaweed just tugged in there that you haven't gotten off yet.
Pull that away here.
an ocean and not the swamp?
There's no ocean within.
Did you back to Zadash? Port du Male?
We can talk about this later. This is not important.
132 miles.
Good to know.
Anywhozen, as you were saying.
No, I was gonna make a Valheim joke, but now we ruined that by being serious. I was gonna say we dig around the obelisk and about 8 meters below it, and it floats in the air. If we hit it with a pickaxe one time, it should just collapse.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and me might be the only people who get that.
What you told me?
Oh, you don't do it?
Okay, so those are all questions for Jace. But that is the situation at the moment. Shall we call everyone in and see if, unless anyone else had any other ideas about
Does my sword look cool? Are people looking at my cool sword?
Did you bring it with you?
It's on my hip. I mean, am I gonna leave it? I don't know what it does.
Did Runberg have that in his...
You have options if you really will combine it with your at.
But then...
I don't know what the options are. We'll find out later.
No, it's a 6 sword. It is...
I don't know what it looks like, but
It's
it
very good.
doesn't look.
It's
Oh no.
Little saber.
got a little... Is the eyeball actively twitching?
There's two eyeballs.
There are
I'm
two
gonna
eyeballs.
say-
Yeah, one is obviously looking at his person, so you can't quite see that one. But the other one is looking and acknowledging each of you. Like it pauses on Sylvie for a moment, blinks, looks over towards Raj, blinks, looks over. Yeah.
Does it have a name?
Was I told the name in game, or is this just? Yeah, I don't think I was.
I don't know
Igor.
what it is yet.
No.
That's good.
What the fuck is that and why is it watching me?
Eygore, Igor.
Can you do any of your spy things on it where you just like look?
I can look at it really hard.
That's not exactly my area of expertise, but future lens.
I'm not speaking to Galileo at the moment.
Its name's Isaac.
Gotcha. Do you think you could perhaps use one of your lenses and see if you can figure out if that has a light to it, if there's...
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the
so fast.
Eyeball.
I have the eyeball.
I have
The eye of Sauron.
It's the eye of the eyeball. It's eye and where's eye?
I'm going to edit all that out.
Oh, you're right. We can't do that. Yep. Copyright strike. Manzioni's gone or reading and not caring?
Reading, because he blinks.
I'm reading. I'm waiting for you to tell me what you're doing because I know. Well, I think I know what you're about to do.
He said he was gonna eyeball the eyeball.
I'm staying ahead of it. I get it.
He's prepping.
I'm gonna do my thing of the thing that I do for the things.
Identify.
I could identify it actually. I'll take 10 minutes and do that. And then also I'll hit it with the eyes.
Okay, so
Arcane lenses first, then identification as a ritual.
this blade, again, is called Sword of Fathoms. It is itself has no physical properties, as in there's no attack modifier, there's no damage to it, nothing like that. But what you get from the weapon is that it absorbs magical properties of other weapons of your choosing. So you can essentially build and create a weapon of your choosing from other weapons.
You have given Matthew
And
everything.
that's very interesting to Matthew.
For sure.
And it can absorb, as far as Galileo is concerned, it can absorb as many magical weapons. It becomes more difficult to wield. Obviously, the more powerful it is. Kind of like a Pokemon at level 100 when you're level, 5, but you get
I
the...
can't run into like Jerome's lair and just absorb everything all at once.
So, there is a happy medium that you'll have to figure out.
What's the first badge called in Pokemon? The rock badge? It's like a... It's not what it's called.
The Runeberg badge?
Runeberg badge, yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so after identifying that, I'll spend a couple of minutes like on the floor looking at it after like cycling through my eye lenses. And then once that data kind of registers, like Galileo will kind of like move away slowly and then very surely from it.
Oh no.
It's the Sword of Fathoms.
Okay.
It can absorb the properties of other weapons of arcane source.
Okay.
By the way, there's one more feature, Galileo, that you're picking up on now. Any properties that are absorbed go toward Ukatoa as well. And Ukatoa is a name that you, who's just woken up but a few weeks ago, not familiar with.
I don't know the name, but it is. Have you heard of Ukatoa?
Like, yeah.
Ugatoa seems to be the source of this blade's power. Any modifications or enhancements that the blade item itself receives, so would Ugatoa.
Cool. Writing it down.
Please be careful.
Okay.
It's about
Does it have a shade to it? Can I make a religion check?
a shade. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I mean, I guess I would find the whole point of that is to kind of find out the deity and the alignment. You know all that, so.
Yeah. And there is no light to this either.
Okay.
But it's about
There
this
is not,
time-
or there is?
There's not.
There's no light to this. But it's about this time in which Chalcidius, Mads, Rundar, and then Eldaron comes in last. But he flanks the group, kind of looking behind as they come through the entire blasted front of the house. Make their way over to you guys. They find their seats, start pouring some beverages. Did you need to see us before speaking to Jace?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was running some calculations on something. I'm back. So, yes, let's. I received a message this morning, approximately 44 minutes and 12 seconds ago, and then I'll replay the message. No, once again, please. I'm just kidding. We'll edit that in post.
Deegan, will you meet us at this peace summit? Cygnus and I have waited a long time, and even longer for us to work up the courage to... actually, just me. Cygnus is the most courageous person I know. Until soon. Alright, now, with that said, immediately, you kind of see... Cal kind of scoffs at the name Cygnus.
Does she want to fight?
Looks over to the rest of the group and says, disappears for how many years? How did you...
Who said that?
Cal is saying this to Mads, Eldaron, and Rundar, pretty much ignoring you guys for a moment. She's going to disappear for how many years? And now is trying to meet up with Deegan? How long have we been at this? 100 years since he left, and now she's showing up to the party?
Damn.
I'll be damned. And Cal begins to pack some more into his pipe, and he's gonna kind of smoke it off for a moment. You see Mads, instead of this time he was being polite and he was pouring himself, he's just gonna grab the pitcher this time of wine, and he starts to sip the wine that way. Eldaron stays kind of emotionless, kind of just observing the group, and then Rundar, you kind of lost him for a second. He's not in the room, and then you double check, and he's sitting. He's still sitting at his chair. He bent over for a second.
I'm dead again.
How did you, Cal speaking, how did you hear about this, Galileo? You said you were sleeping?
Yes, I was most of the ways through filtering data from the last 18 hours, and I received this message, and I began processing it.
Well, it's got to be recent. Talks about the Peace Summit. That was just 8-9 hours ago that was announced.
It doesn't feel like a coincidence that that message arrived as soon as we found out both of the Peace Summit and got a weakness to or access point to Deegan.
I'm confused. Who are these people?
You see Cal again leans back in his chair, kind of kicks a foot up, and he goes, "Are they still doing this Twilight's Accord thing? Are they still in the sky, causing havoc across the continent? Is anyone?" And Elderon kind of like, yeah, that's last we heard. That's kind of the deal that they're going with. Vigilantes.
It was at a temple, if you could say that, of the Twilight Circle that we actually heard about the winter contingency for the first time. So,
where we got information on the impending invasion.
So why are these people reaching out to Deegan?
Are they accomplices of his?
They were a part of our. Well, I joined into their group many moons ago, about 100 years ago at this point. And we all fought a variant of the Chained Oblivion together. And then shortly after that, they went off into the sunset and left us with our friends who were gone to deal with that.
So they were part of your party with Deegan?
With Rosa, Honorian, Deegan. We did have someone named Mugwort in our party. Rest her soul. Gone too.
And your Rue.
What was that?
Rue
Maggie's
as
lit
well?
up.
Rue. Fortunately, Rue survived. Of course, died shortly after, of natural causes. But yeah, that was the group.
And I'll pull out the letter from Lissa that I took as well. Do you know who Lissa is?
Acknowledges and says that would be Rosa's partner. Rosa died in that battle as well.
And so I guess I'm confused because you guys wanted to reach out to try to save Deegan, but the message that they sent sounds as though they expect him to be at the Peace Summit. They didn't say where it was, they didn't say who it was between, they just said the Peace Summit. Do they know of what he's become?
From what we know, and this is Elderon speaking now, as he leans forward, from what we have gathered, they have agency all across Wildmount. Every city has a major temple of theirs. Even the smaller towns have some sort of monastery, if you will. They've probably got plenty of knowledge, especially knowledge that we don't currently have yet, but I'm sure they're well aware of the Peace Summit, even if they're flying high above us, not really communicating with the rest of Wildmount.
But do they know that Deegan's already going to be there? Or is Deegan even going to be there?
It sounds like they're asking for Deegan to meet them there.
It sounds like this just got a lot more dangerous.
It was not a dead.
So did they not?
You give me an inch, I take a yard.
So did they not come to help you? And she like gestures to the like blown in castle wall, like behind her, where like the sun is just streaming into the front room where we're all kind of eating early dinner.
Late lunch.
And like
Mads, who clearly has like, it looks like someone cleaved a sword into the side of his bicep, and it's a recent wound. He's got a cut towards his neck that's pretty recent. He leans forward and he says, that would be the Sanctuary of Bahamut that came and aided us. We had 6, 7, 8, I think 8 dragons in total who aided us, plus us and Delphi. She's no pushover as well. But no, that was it.
Delphi cutting more.
One figure arm.
They haven't
Say
helped
what?
us in.
Oh.
They haven't helped us in 100 years.
Damn, guys, what the fuck?
100 years and their own,
We're doing our own.
and their own party member.
Or what?
We all deal with death in our own way, don't we?
And Sylvie's just gonna take like a heavy swig of wine and just like put her glass down, think better of it, and just finish it.
Did you give them any reason not to reach out to you
Was there a falling out, a certain event that may have taken place?
I assume that they decided to cope with the loss of our friends in a different way than we did. We united under a banner, and they united under a banner. We just weren't included in that.
Have you ever tried to reach out to them?
We've been to a great many of their monasteries, looking, asking. They never tell us who's above, who's running the place. But we found out. It only took a few decades. They're very crafty.
Well, it looks like Alyssa tried to reach out to Deegan, but I don't know. It is all very strange. Well, seems like you may get your reunion soon enough. One way or another. And Sylvie's gonna get up and walk out.
I will hurry behind her.
Okay. As some of you stay at the table and continue eating, a lot of awkward stares going on at the table for those of you who do stay. Sylvie, as you exit, and Phoebe, as you go with her, you see Jace entering through the front hole, if you will. And he says, "Are you leaving?"
No, I was actually coming to find you, but if you
Perfect
needed
timing.
food. Happy.
Do you want to speak privately first?
I mean, in front of Phoebe is perfect. She's up to speed on most things.
Well, I think it's time that we bring in your friends, your confidants, into our next mission. And we kind of put the cards on the table, if you will. Does that sound fair to you?
Well, of course, it's what I've been training for.
Let us go. Brings you back toward the table. And after just a few minutes of awkward stares, a lot of drinking, a lot of packing of tobacco and other things, Jace kind of lays out a plan for you guys, and he says, if this sounds like it's going to go sideways, it's because it's probably going to go sideways. Here's what I think we need to do. I'm going to send in you all as patrons of the Cobalt Soul. You are there on business. But behind the scenes, what I need you all to do is figure out if something is going to go sideways, and I need you to figure it out and alert me and everyone possible immediately if it's going to go sideways. We cannot lose anyone from the Dwendalian Empire, anyone from the Clovis, and anyone from the Kryn. I do not trust the Wildlands. What say you?
I'd love to get a read on Jason this moment.
Okay.
I've trusted him implicitly, but I need to know if I can trust him absolutely.
Give me an insight check, and I'll give you advantage here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. 27.
Good.
I guess that'll do.
Better part of 30.
You've never seen Jace more pointed, more kind of baffled at the suggestion that there could possibly be a peace talk after, the Dwendalian Empire's lost 60-70% of their territory, and now they're calling for peace. He seems extremely baffled, but he knows what must be done. He thinks that this is a setup. He doesn't seem like he's lying in any capacity, and he trusts your group as essentially faces that not many could recognize or would recognize, to go undercover as spies and to figure out if something is off. And if it is off, you are the people to alert the proper people to stop this whole thing from blood loss, things like that.
We are pretty all undercover, excluding one of us. I guess we need a way to hide me.
We all still do have our
Like, relative to the scope of this
Coin of
conflict,
non-detection.
our
The
coin
giants.
of conceal identity.
I guess I just need
Non-detection,
I need like a good
A good disguise self spell would be
good disguise kit. Proper.
That is no problem. We can handle that for sure.
I want it to look like a emoji on my face.
I just
Everyone's way too happy all the time.
Slightly off.
I'm thinking the Doctor Who episode where they go and it's like the things that are like
They're really long awkward arms.
that's really scary.
I found a mask under a bed I can give you.
Done. Put it on. Sylvie is going to take this moment to kind of say, that is no problem. The plan is something that we can certainly handle. I have other concerns, and she's just gonna raise up her hand that has the pentagram on it. To like Jace and just give him the rundown.
Is it palm?
It's palm. Not bloody, it's just like a stamp.
Right.
As you show that, the C1 characters plus Cal are still in the room as well. Everyone's at the table, and you see Jace kind of, as he was standing up like over the table, pretty confident. He's laying out, this is what we're doing. He's kind of moving the chess pieces, if you will. He sees that and he goes, holy hell. And he takes a seat, and that's where we'll end tonight's session.